I'm trying this again. I went on took that last video down. Disclaimer policies and stuff. All right. Bring up some things here. All right. I'm trying to get some people up in here. Now, as you see here, hold on. Hold on, let me get my chat up. They can't stop me. I don't know why. They think they can. Okay. All right. So as I was saying here, that in this video, why is it doing that? Uh, okay, as you see here, when it goes off into its other stage, what? What? It look like it's halfway flying into the dome now, and then it disappears. Look, you see the reflection off the dome? Boom, gotcha, bitch. Look, when it shot off, it shot right into the firmament. Look, look how it's reacting. You see that? And then watch how it spreads out. We can call this a repeat experiment of the Operation Fishbowl. Look, look how it spreads out. So y'all just proved flat Earth. Look, look at the center, and then just look how it just spreads out. Everything else, they even said, "Wow, there's a lot of exhaust coming from the what you call it." I like no, because the exhaust hit the firmament and spread it out. Look, because how in the world it's already separated. Look, they've been then separated, right? The stages, they ain't already separated the stages, but everything is still spreading out. And it's still moving. Look, it's still moving, even when they're out of sight. Look, you see that? I don't think. Open your eyes, people. Y'all see that? Look how I just rippled through the sky, man. But my main thing is to read a little something. Fuck this guy. Mm. This article is about cosmologies in which Earth is held to be flat. For modern misconception about medieval European cosmology, myth of flat Earth, myth of the flat Earth. For others, see flat Earth. This disambiguation. This I don't know. I've never seen that word before. The flat Earth model is an archaic conception of Earth's shape as a plane or disk. Many cultures subscribe to flat Earth cosmography, including Greece. Into the classical period, the Bronze Age and Iron Age civilizations of the Near East until the Hellenistic period. India into Gupta period, early centuries AD, and China into the 17th century. The paradigm was also typically held in the Aboriginal cultures of the Americas, and the notion of a flat Earth domed by firmament in the shape of an inverted bow was common in pre-scientific societies. So before science came mainstream, it was already part of society. What had to change in a modern era, which is basically today, pseudoscientific. They try to call it pseudoscientific flat Earth theories have been opposed by modern flat Earth societies. Of course, they always got to. Anytime flat Earth comes up, they always got to credit the flat Earth society. Jet, you know what I'm saying? The control opposition, just so they can basically get credit for their misinformation or use misinformation but try to get credit. I don't know in there. Okay. So support for flat Earth. We're finna go down a little bit. West Asia in early Egyptian and Mesopotamian thoughts, the world was portrayed as a disk floating in the ocean. A similar model, okay, a similar model found in a Humeric account from the 18th century BC, in which Okeanos, the um, personified body of water surrounding the circular surface of Earth, is a begetter of all life and possibly all gods. Hmm. Okeanos. Never heard of it. The Israelites imagine the earth to be a disk floating on water, which basically it is, because we cover mostly in water. But that's just a thought. I'm not going to subscribe to that statement, but don't quote me on it. The Hebrews believed the sky was a solid dome with the sun, moon, and planets and stars embedded in it. Then it gives you a little footnote here. Until you see Paul high in the firmament and the water above. So let's go here. The firmament and the water above. Modern biblical scholars have defined a Waycraft firmament as a solid dome over the earth. Conservative scholars from Calvin and down to the present, however, have defined the atmospheric expanse. Atmospheric expanse. So same thing. You see, even down to the present. Some conservatives have taken special pains to reject the concept of a solid dome. Special pains. What kind of special pains are you talking about? Painkillers? On the basis that the Bible also refers to the heavens as a tent or a curtain that references to windows and pillars of heaven and obviously poetic. Let's see. The word this they say simply means expands. They say something. They say the understanding of this is as a solid firm rests on the Vulgate's translation from momentum, and that translate rest in turn as a Alexis's translation, which simply reflected the Greek view of the heavens at the time the translators did their work. So I'm gonna back it up. Oh shoot. Sorry, family. I gotta bring it back up. I got to bring it back up. Oh, I'm just gonna hit you. Yeah. So as we continue, let's see. I want to make sure I'm broadcasting. Yeah, I want to make sure I'm broadcasting. Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay. Anyways, so what we're gonna do, they call all of our pseudoscience when we actually use um applied science that we can observe. Okay. So I read one about here it is. Alternate or mixed theories for information. Spherical Earth in the in history of geodesy. This is pretty interesting. But before, actually, I wanted to read right here. In ancient China, the prevailing belief that the earth was flat and square while the heavens were round. In the 17th, virtually unquestioned until the introduction of the European astronomy in the 17th century. So right here is telling you that the Europeans did not start flat Earth, because actually flat Earth and everything was an assumption until the European astronomy fanboys came in and started preaching the globe Earth nonsense. The Earth was a globe nonsense. Okay, all you gotta do is read on a little bit, do some research. Chinese thought that the form of the Earth remained almost unchanged from early times into the first contracts with modern science through the medium of Jesuit missionaries. You see what happens when you do a little research? In the 17th century, while the heavens were seriously described as being like an umbrella covering the earth or like a sphere surrounding it, or or as being without substance, while the heavenly bodies float freely. The earth was at times the earth was at all times flat, although perhaps bulging up slightly. So they're trying to say that the earth was flat and it started to become a ball. Really? That really makes sense. Interesting. But we have a link here we can go to, Chinese astronomy. Let's see. And this is going to get good. Hey, what up? What was that? What up, Jazzy? Hey, what was that? You want to get on the panel with me? Oh shoot, hold on. Let me change my slow mode. I thought I modified that. Sorry. Hold on, y'all. Y'all can't type right now. Let me put it on. Let me change my alter my slow mode. I'm tired as hell. Family need to be going to sleep. Okay. Alright. Okay. Give me a second, family. Actually, I can just take slow mode off right now. Yeah, I save changes. There you go. All right, y'all should be able to type a little faster now. There you go. All right, so back to this. Astronomy in China. Oh, let me check my Facebook. Okay. All right, so it says astronomy in China has a very long history, with historians indicating that the Chinese were the most persistent and accurate observers of the celestial phenomena anywhere in the world before the Arabs. Stone Age later categorized as 28 mansions, and the 28 mansions have found oracle bones unearthed by Yang dating back to the Middle Shang Dynasty. Shang Dynasty, interesting. And the mansion's system nucleus seems to have taken shape by the time of ruler Ruding. Okay. Um, all right. So, detailed records of astronomical observation began during the Warring States period, 4th century BC, and flourished from the Han period onward. Chinese astronomy was equatorial centered as one of the as centered as it was on close observation circumpolar stars. And this was based on different principles from those prevailing in traditional Western astronomy, where heliacal risings and settings of zodiac constellations form the basic ecliptic framework. So let's see these constellations. Now, look how they just basically just put all the constellations in one. Where Earth in its orbit around the sun causes the sun to appear on a celestial sphere moving along the ecliptic where it's tilted with respect to the celestial equator. So celestial equator, you see how they like basically they give it's like with a sphere going around the sphere, and they put the celestial bodies in the sphere. So anybody gonna read this up and be like, see, that's why the North Star stays the center because we're actually floating around the sphere, right? Even though these, so how big is the sphere? Even since these constellations are said to be, thousands and millions and hundreds of millions of light years away. So how big is the sphere? Huh? They're good for that. Let me see. Particularly magically artistic CGI. Of course. I'm opening the pen up in just a second, y'all. Some elements of what was I? Detailed records of astronomical observers began. Okay, I did read that. Okay. Some elements of the Indian astronomy reached China with expansion of Buddhism after the Eastern Han Dynasty, but most detailed incorporation of the Indian astronomical thought occurred during the Tang Dynasty, with Indians, numerous Indian astronomers took up the residence in the Chinese capital. The Chinese scholars, such as the great Buddhist monk and mathematician Yizeng, mastered its system. Islamic astronomers collaborated closely with their Chinese colleagues during the Yuan dynasty, and during the Yuan dynasty, and after a period of relative decline during the Ming dynasty, the astronomy was revitalized under the stimulus in Western cosmology and technology after the Jesuits, see that name again, established their missions. The telescope was introduced in the 17th century. Anyways, in 1969, the Peking Observatory was completely redesigned and refitted under the direction of Ferdinand Verbius. Today, China continues to be active in astronomy with many observations on its own space program. Hmm. This is crazy. Just look at this shit. You know what I'm saying? And then look how basically they got the Earth. Of course, they're gonna throw the little global deception in there, but look how they got it flat, and then they got the stars right above where basically how Earth is cut off, our atmosphere is cut off from the stars above. So that brings me to ask about Newton Gale. Newton Gale. I don't like this search engine. I actually like this one. Alrighty. First of all, let's see if we got any images of these. Now, basically, look how all of these stars. This is what they seen. Okay, look how close all these stars are. They right above us, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's million, probably billions of them, yes, but we're not. They're not way out in the void or anything. They're right here. They're right here over us. Just look. Just look at them. Look how they moving. Certain parts of the plane, you'll be able to see this. Okay. But what I really wanted to get into was the Newton Gale story. Let me see. Here's one. Hmm, Damn, that one right there would have been a good one too. What about this one? Oh, see, this photo is no longer available. You see how they taking it off the internet when you see how they taking it off the internet when people started doing a little more research. There it is. See, when they wanted everybody to believe in the globe, they will have these pictures all over everywhere or whatever because they didn't think people research. When people start researching it, then they gonna take them off and delete the pictures or whatever. For why? And this basically This is Nut and Gale. This is Nut right here, the Sky Goddess. This is Gale. Okay. And then Gale is basically holding her up. You know what I'm saying? He's holding her up. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is Gale, and they also got him back here laying on along the ground. Basically, it's a horizon, you see, or the ground that's holding hands with Nook. You see that? Cause that's how we see reality. We see the ground meet with the sky. So let me go back to the Chinese story. Actually, no. There's not one. I wanted to read the Ningab story. Flat up underdog. Because I guess I didn't do the disclaimer right. Yes, I didn't do the disclaimer right when I was playing the video, so it was blocked worldwide. So I just deleted the whole video. It's cool. It was only 45 minutes in though, but it's all good. It's all gravy. Okay, so let's see. Here's a better picture. You actually see the stars and everything in it. Let me see. Why don't they have more on here? Hmm. Definitely had to bookmark this page. Uh, okay. Ooh, sorry, family. All right. So we got done with the Chinese um astronomy now. Let's see here. Because we see a boat, right? It's a claim on the horizon. No, you know what? I'm gonna go to the place. We're not gonna do that one. Because we already know ships don't go over the horizon anyway. They always talk about it's obscured by the curvature of the earth, but it seems to become unobscured when you pass when you zoom out. Pythagoras in the 16th century BC, in the 5th century, I'm not gonna try to pronounce that the earth is spherical. The spherical view spread rapidly in the Greek world around 330 BC. Aristotle maintained on the basis of physical theory and observation the earth was spherical and reporting on an estimate on circumference. The earth's circumference was determined by Aristophanes. So let's do a little research on this wise fella, this expert. Here's his picture, if y'all can see. Okay. Says Aristophanes was a Greek mathematician, geographer, poet, astronomer, and music theorist. He was a man of learning, becoming the chief librarian of the library in Alexandria. Huh. The same library that burnt down. Let's read on. He invented the discipline of geography, including terminology used today. So he invented the words, some of them. He best known for the first person to calculate the circumference of the Earth, which he did by applying a measuring system using stadia, a standard unit of measure during that time period. His calculation was remarkably accurate. He was also the first to calculate the tilt of the Earth's axis, again with remarkable accuracy. Accident. Additionally, he may have accurately calculated the distance from the Earth to the Sun. He may have, doesn't mean he did, and he invented the leap day. He created the first map of the world, incorporating parallels and meridians based on available geographic knowledge in his era. So why don't we look here? Why don't we look here at this ancient map, right? Look at this. You got Africa here. You got the Mediterranean Sea. I mean, how for one, how do you know of all of this? Look, this is not even. Are these the real sizes of Africa? Because this not the sizes we have today. How did he know how to get all this accurate detail? Okay. Um, what else? Did I? Did I? Okay, cool. So let's see his experiment. Number Let's see his experiment. He calculated the circumference of the Earth without leaving Egypt. He knew that he knew that at local noon on the summer solstice in Cyan, the sun was directly overhead. Look how they say local noon because the sun is local and the sun is going to be overhead since it's local. I don't care how the Earth's tilt is, whether it's tilting towards the sun or away from the sun. Um, during daylight hours, during the daylight times, whether it's tilting away from the sun or towards the sun. The sun would never be shouldn't be directly overhead, right? It wouldn't. It would no. It wouldn't. It wouldn't. It just wouldn't work. And realistically, so he knew that because the shadow of someone looking down deep well at that time in sand blocked the reflection of the sun on the water. Wow. This guy maybe because he's standing in front of the light. He measured the sun's angle of elevation at noon in Alexandria using a vertical rod known as a gnomon or gnomon, and measuring the length of its shadow to the ground. Using the length of the rod and the length of the shadow as a ledge triangle, and the legs of the triangle, then you calculate the angle of the sun rays. It turned out to be 7 degrees or 1/50th the circumference of a circle. Taking the Earth as spherical and knowing both distance from um direction of Sion, he concluded Earth's circumference was 50 times that distance. Now, the thing about this, just because he knew the distance, he should. It still wouldn't have been. It still would have been an inaccurate experience. I'll tell you why. Because if he's here, just because he knows how far this other city is, or this other town or country or whatever, he didn't place there. They said that he used 2 sticks, but right here it said he used a metal rod. Okay, he did not use 2 sticks. He only used one, and since he knew the distance of the other place that should have had the stick, because they had two shadows, it means nothing. They can also happen on the flat plane. Okay, so you put two shadows together. You can put 2 sticks together. I mean, you can put 2 sticks together, and if the sun is behind, if the sun is behind, is slightly behind one of the sticks. I mean, the sun is behind one of the sticks slightly more than the other. Those 2 sticks, whether they 200 miles apart or whatever, they're gonna cast different shadows. Okay, and that's all it was. His knowledge of the size of Egypt. Let me read the chat real quick. Okay. Yeah, let me read my Facebook real quick. Okay. So, his knowledge of the size of Egypt was founded in the work of many generations of surveying tips. Periodic bookkeepers gave a distance between Cheyenne and Alexandria of 5,000 stadia figured out to be clear. Some say that distance was cor- corroborated by inquiring about the time it took to travel from Cheyenne to Alexandria. Carl said that Aristophanes paid a man to walk and measure the distance. Really? Really? He paid somebody to walk and measure the distance. So how in the world would they give you an accurate reading and you have to wait for the destination when you have to wait for the other location to do your experiment, wait on the numbers or the mileage of the other location to do that? Like I was saying, put a stick here and put a stick here, and the sun was directly behind them, or a little more. Like the sun here is on this side. If the sun is on this side, or whatever, this shadow is going to change first. The one that's closest to the sun. Same thing here. So as the sun comes around, that shadow is gonna move while this one continues to stay straight. You know what I'm saying? Slightly. So it's still gonna move. That really doesn't prove anything. The most commonly accepted value of the length of the state, which implies a circumference of 46,000 kilometers, it was unlikely, even accounting for this extremely primitive measuring tool, uh, Aristophanes could have calculated an accurate measurement for the circumference of Earth. He made five important assumptions, none of which perfectly accurate. That the distance between Alex and Cyan was 500 stadia. The Alexandria is due north of Cyan. The Cyan lies on the tropical Cancer. The Earth is a perfect sphere, none of which perfectly accurate. Okay, and the light rays emanating from the sun are parallel. This is all I'm going to read for right now. But y'all see my argument here. Like, I don't know, man. You know? But it's all right, really what I have for now. Maybe I'll come on a little later and open the panel and pick this up. Until then, thanks everybody out there for watching. I appreciate you coming in. Be kind to each other. Stay true to yourselves. Stay flat. Keep it flat. Class dismissed.